Tiffany.
And I'm Debbie, and together
We are the Round Table Recap.
Hey, welcome back. We're on Traitors Season 4, Episode 5. And of course, starting off is the breakfast. And no surprise here, they're still on Ron and suspecting him. And I think, though, this is the first time that Kristen is looking at Colton now because of how he led the charge with Tiffany, which
Right.
only makes sense because normally if someone is that adamant and then they find out they're faithful, unfortunately, all eyes are going to turn to that person who led it.
Right. Yeah. I mean, like I said last week, the tipping point, though, I thought was Eric, even though Colton started the charge. I think if I had been a player, Eric's comment would have been what made me vote for Tiffany. But yeah, I had also expressed about, basically the same thing that Kristen said, that, Colton, he's, he gets fixated on somebody. It's
Mhm.
just like random, not for any gameplay reason, but just because, for whatever reason, he wants to go after somebody.
Yeah. Yeah, in which this plays out, obviously through the rest of this episode. Um, but I did want to mention that, yeah, I was watching Candace more and I'm like, she really is a good trader because, like Rob, he sits back, but
Right.
even at breakfast, Candace she's not
Mhm.
too outspoken in the sense anymore where she stands out. But
Right.
I mean, she, comes across as her genuine self and her reactions or comments. So I think out of three of them, she is doing the best at being a traitor and a faithful.
Yeah. Yeah. I think she acts more like a faithful than the other two.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I think she's playing it really well.
Yeah. And here at breakfast is where you find out they decided to eliminate Monet, which I thought was smart.
I know, I hated to see Monet
I
go.
know, I know, but it
Oh,
was it was smart before Monet could start like planting the seeds of Lisa, because they're trying
right,
to
yeah,
keep the traders together. So
right, right.
out of the ones that they could get, eliminate, I thought it was pretty smart of them.
Yeah, yeah. I'm glad Johnny and Tara are still around because I love them. But I hated to see Monet go.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, this pretty much wraps up breakfast. I didn't really have anything that kind of stood out. I mean, Dorinda is suspecting Ron, but I mean, pretty much everyone is still
Yeah,
on the Ron train.
I can say I love Dorinda too, and I'm so glad. I'm so glad she's like been able to actually play the game because remember the
Yeah,
first time, she was
yeah,
the first one voted off, and so I just love having her around. And I think her comments, though, that she are pretty perceptive in the game. I think
mhm,
she's a good game player. I mean, she sits back a lot, but I think when she has something to say, I think it's something good.
yeah, yeah. I mean, even though as we as the viewers know that it's not
Right.
accurate because
Right.
it's not a traitor, but yeah, her observations, I mean, in the midst of the game are really good. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I think, I respect anybody who, if you go after somebody and you have a good theory, I respect that. I just don't respect somebody who goes after somebody just because they want
Just
to,
because, yeah.
just because. Yeah.
Yeah. And so after breakfast, there's like a group of them who are kind of discussing. And this is where Colton is brought up again, and I think
Mhm.
pushed more so, you know, outside of just, Kristen. And I mean, I did know that Tara also suspected Mora, but I think that was like the only time it was like said, and then it just kind of got, washed because Colton
Right.
became more of the focus point, at least in this episode.
Well,
And
did what Tara went after Mara? She said something about Mara.
yeah, Tara said that she was,
Well,
suspecting Mara.
Tara has even admitted this has been a tough game for her. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah, yeah,
yeah. This shit's been hard. Um, and then before they get to the mission too, this is where because Ron's like pretty sure that he's gone at this round table, so he's now throwing out his suspicions of Dorinda and Michael.
Yeah, that I don't like. How,
He's like, if
how,
I'm gone, it is Michael and Dorinda.
I, why Dorinda? Why? Just
Yeah.
because, I mean, she has even said she's tried to get to know him. And I don't know, does he feel pressured by her? I didn't think he had a good reason to go after Dorinda. But
Yeah, because I think he was at this, I mean, skipping ahead, I think he was at this round table where he's like, he says, I don't care about your family,
right.
or, don't like, I'm like, oh my gosh. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, we saw a different side of him.
yeah, yeah. Which
Uh,
is, I guess he picks and chooses though who he wants to get close to, because as you see, like
yeah.
throughout the episode, though, him and Rob are pretty close, and
Yeah.
so I think, yeah, he just, because
Yeah,
he
I
was
mean,
trying to say or trying to argue the fact that he doesn't like to get close to people because it blinds him in the game, or it
right.
um, whatever you want to call it, distracts
Yeah,
him.
or puts a
But
bias. Yeah.
yeah, it puts a bias. That's right. But I'm like, but then you do get close to some people, and
Yeah.
you got
Well,
close to a traitor. Like,
yeah. Well, I think it's he's an introvert and introverts tend to lean
yeah,
towards introverts. And I mean obviously the housewives are extroverts.
yeah.
There's a lot of extroverts in this season. So yeah, so maybe he does feel a little overwhelmed. But and I felt bad because I didn't really consider that about him. But I didn't like that he threw out Dorinda's name. uh, you
Bias.
know,
Yeah,
I mean, if you're gonna throw out somebody's name, have a good reason for it.
yeah.
Other than she tried to get to know you.
Right, right. She tried to get too friendly. Okay, so yeah, so this is the mission where they break up into teams, and it's the Fountain of Youth, so they have to collect these coins,
Fountain of Faithfuls.
or Fountain of Youth, Fountain of Faithfuls, and they have to collect the coins to get these statues or the location. And what was the twist on this one was, of course, if anyone took a shield, then of course they would be safe, but there would be an elimination happening where if nobody touched them, then there was no elimination.
But even if one shield was taken,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I mean, there's two, because there was a total of four groups, and so two of the groups out of the four it seemed they were the most tempted to take the shields, especially because like obviously the first statue everyone got, there was only one shield, but then the second statue that everyone came across, there's four shields that could, you
Right.
know, have given safety to everyone in that group.
Yeah.
But I did want to know again, why did Candace and
Yeah, I know.
Lisa, why are you guys on the same team?
I don't
Like
I
spread
don't under
apart. Why are they
I
so
don't
like joined at the
understand that.
hip
Yeah,
during
I
the
don't
missions?
don't understand that. Yeah. And the other thing was too is that I noticed after the after each statue was moved, they all opened up because they wanted to look at the shield.
Yeah,
But the last person, as they're carrying the statue away, because it's open, the last person could have just taken it.
yeah.
I mean, if they had been a traitor, say a traitor was the last person,
They could easily,
following,
yeah,
yeah, they could have just. I mean, look at Lisa and Candace. They could have easily let. Well, I think on their team. Oh yeah, they had Colton and Mark, so they had two guys. So the two guys go forward. They could have hung back. One of them hung back, grabbed one shield, and that was it. Yeah,
yeah,
they would have been. I don't know why they didn't do that unless they thought they would get caught. But
yeah. I mean, you don't find out in this episode whether or not they're allowed to um eliminate someone, so they don't, you don't know if someone took the shield or not. But yeah.
I would have done that if I was a traitor. I would have done
Yeah, because I
it.
mean, your goal is to get rid of the faithful, so I mean, it makes sense, especially like you're on the same team. You might as well make use of being on the same
Right,
team. So
right, yeah,
that would be a good gameplay.
yeah, yeah. I mean, Candace could have said, "Lisa, hang back, grab one. I mean,
Yeah.
all you have to do is grab one and put it in your pocket. No, they're not going to go back and look.
Yeah. Yeah. To make sure it's all accounted for. That's true.
Right. Yeah.
But I liked how it was that Natalie and Dorinda, they're like,
Oh,
oh, yeah, the shields. And I think Natalie said, I saw the twinkle or something in Dorinda's eyes. It's
yeah.
it was tempting for them. Because it's hard to know whether or not to trust. And I'm sorry, again, the traders, especially US, they're
Yeah.
all out for themselves. So, I mean, being in
Yeah.
the game, are you gonna trust that no one's gonna touch it and, everyone will be saved? I mean, that's it. They banked all the money that they could bank. I liked Candace though, how she didn't want to get into the water
No,
at
right.
all to get the she never wants to do the missions. Even the one that she could sit like she chose to like sit on the thing in the one mission. Like she always hangs back.
Yeah, I liked Alan's comment because there was a lot of them, Johnny didn't want to be in there
Mhm.
but there was a lot of them that didn't want to be in there and their butts were up in the air and
Yeah.
Alan was like, too many butts, too many butts.
Yeah. Yeah, I laughed during the
Yeah.
thing. And even the dramatics, of course, with the before I say Fountain of Youth again, Fountain of Faithfuls. And then the little thing squirts like as if it's even a big like water thing.
Yeah. That's what, when it squirted red, I'm like, is that a sign that a shield was taken? Because I was thinking, red for blood.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't understand why it was red.
Yeah. Just
That's the
because
only
the
thing.
game is Traitors for
But it's supposed to
blood.
be it's supposed to be the fountain of
Yeah.
faithfuls. That's what they should have done. Red, red would have mean they got a shield was taken, and
Blue.
yeah, regular water if no shields were taken.
Yeah. That would have been yeah. I mean, they wouldn't even caught it.
Yeah, maybe that.
People would have just been like, I
Okay,
mean, yeah, yeah,
but that's the first thing I thought of. Why is it red? Does that mean that blood is going to be spilled? What is that?
yeah, yeah. I thought it was weird too when they showed the red when they initially got there. I think it's just theatrics, so it's nothing.
Right. Yeah.
It's different than just regular blue.
Yeah.
But yeah, so then after though the mission, this is where Ron says in front of Dorinda that he thinks that she's a traitor. I mean, as we find out, she's like, I've just been trying to get to know you or,
Right. Yeah. That's
whatever.
right. Yeah.
But I mean, they did have, this is also a big blow up of Michael and Colton. And
Yeah.
I liked how, I mean, it's a lot going on, but I liked how, I think it was Rob that would said, well, yeah, Michael, as far as a traitor. And then, because Michael leaves the kitchen and then Rob says, Michael. And then he
Hmm.
comes back in and he's like, Michael, what? Like,
Yeah.
'cause
I,
he's just so direct.
I felt bad for Michael because he was actually just sitting there initially, just sitting there, part of the conversation, some downtime after the mission, eating, his vegetable salad or vegetable plate, whatever. And then Colton just starts in on him. I think Colton just really knows how to poke the bear and because that's what got Michael going. And
Mhm.
because he was fine. I hated the way it played out. I mean, it was dramatic and, and all that, but I really think Colton, as you can tell, Colton's not one of my favorite players.
Yeah.
But I really thought
He
I
came
thought he,
across as aggressive to there was no reason for it to
right,
transpire. And I mean, I think Michael also had a good point where he's like, if I were you, you know, y- I would be a little bit more oh geez, what was the word he used? I don't think I wrote it, but basically like just not outspoken right now
mhm,
because of everything that just happened the day before with Tiffany. So I
right,
thought, I mean, Michael did
right,
have some good points coming back at Colton, but it just
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Michael got his emotions got the better of him, which was unfortunate because I think he had a chance in the game if he could have gotten all that under control. But
Mhm.
I think Colton just going after him and just just and they
As
just
you said, poking the bear. Yeah.
yeah, once the two of them got into it, like there was no turning back after that. So yeah,
Yeah. Which was unfortunate because it, like you see, it leads into the round table.
right,
And I mean, it ultimately becomes Michael's demise because
right.
I know what he said, he used poor choice of words or poor choice
Okay.
of a comparison,
I don't know
which
why he did. I don't
no,
know why.
and I mean and then to make matters worse, they tried to get him to like acknowledge the fact that what you said offended people. And I think because
Yeah,
he was just
right,
so on a one track mind of, no,
right,
that's not what I meant. Like,
right,
this is the fact of, he's just being this way. Um,
right. Yeah,
I-
because when Michael was talking, I did not think, I thought he was talking about the game. I didn't think it had anything to do with Colton's, sexuality or
Sexuality. Yeah.
I never until he brought it up, but then everybody jumped on the bandwagon,
Hmm.
and especially after Johnny jumped on, I was like, oh, that's it for Michael,
Yeah.
because everybody took it the wrong way, and which is unfortunate. And again, if he had had his emotions in check, I think it would have played out differently for him. But
He vomits his mouth. Like, I don't know.
yeah,
I mean, I liked Michael though, but I was like, oh
yeah,
yeah, you stepped in that one. And
yeah,
had he have just like taken a little bit more time to acknowledge it at the round
right,
table versus,
right.
I mean, obviously he acknowledges and everything after the fact of like
I
that's
mean,
not,
he did try, but he was just so emotional at that
yeah,
point. And he did try because it caught him off guard. He's like,
yeah,
like, what are you yeah, you could tell it caught him off guard. Like,
hmm,
what? What are you guys talking about? That's not what I meant." And yeah, I think in the confessional he had time to reflect on it and, and realized, but I think in the moment he did apologize. He did say that's not what I meant, but I mean I think that was the last straw for everybody.
yeah.
And but if you had been there, how would you, or even just watching it, how would you have taken his comment?
Yeah, yeah.
Apologizing?
I thought he was just using it as like that was his comparison to use as, not realizing that it would have came across offensive. Like I didn't,
Right,
as a
right,
viewer, I didn't find it offensive because I didn't like it's a game. Like he's
right.
not like taking
Yeah,
anything like a personal side, into
right.
the game. It was just,
Yeah.
like I said, a poor comparison.
The only thing I could think of is maybe something was done in the editing. Maybe he actually said more because I was surprised that Colton, well, I wasn't surprised that Colton came back with it because I don't like Colton. And I think he was just trying
Yeah, no,
to
I don't know. I don't think there was anything in the editing. I really, because I mean, you could tell that Michael was caught off guard, that
right,
people were offended. So I don't think there was any, editing that was done. I think Colton purposely did not like acknowledge the fact, like he fed into it, I
right,
guess,
yes,
to
right,
get
right.
Michael out because he was like,
Oh,
oh
no,
yes,
obviously,
yeah,
obviously,
like, yeah.
yeah,
So I don't like, because I think if Colton was like, no, I understand, like, if like, I think if Colton was to like kind of stand up for Michael in a way of like, oh,
right,
what you said, I didn't take offensively. I think everyone else at the table would have
back down.
backed down. Yeah.
Yeah, but as it was, it just snowballed, and
Hmm.
yeah, and that was it. And I thought Eric made a really good, well, Natalie, I thought made a good comment about, she just wanted Michael gone at this point.
Yeah. And
And
I mean, there's quite that we're like, I don't care if you're a faithful or a traitor.
right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's why I like Eric's comment because he's like, as a faithful, if you're a faithful,
Hmm.
you're distracting faithful, and and if you're a traitor, then. But so I thought, Eric, it's that's one of those comments that always is made, especially in Traders US. It's, if you're a bad faithful, you're not helping the game.
Yeah. Which is true. Like he'd blow up and distract them at the round table and the conversations. So, I mean, I think him saying that was a very valid point of why he voted for Michael.
Yeah, it's too bad for the Traitors because Michael was good for the Traitors.
Yeah, he was. He was a really good distraction, which again, that's why, Eric saying what he said is 100% accurate. So it was no surprise when the votes came out the way it did.
Yep.
And then, though, after the roundtable, this is really where Kristen hones in on Colton.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
she's really got her eyes on him, and even says it to Eric. I want to say that she's talking to, and somebody else, but
And Mark. It's Mark. Her and Mark do not get airtime.
Mark. I always forget his name. I always have to like look up his name because I'm like, what's your name again? Like,
Because they don't give him any airtime.
he doesn't. He does. I think, yeah. I always forget his name because he doesn't get airtime.
Yeah. But I'm like, yeah, go Kristen.
Yeah, yeah. And I think also this is where, what is it, Tara and Johnny, they also discuss Colton
Right.
with Candace. And so
Yes.
it feels like now everyone is kind of like honing in on Colton possibly being a traitor.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
But this, unfortunately, too, is where Colton now is starting to have his eyes on Lisa.
Right.
And for me, I'm like, I don't understand why people listen to Colton at this point because clearly he is not, like he goes after these people and he has
Right.
not been right other than that one time.
One time. Yep.
Yeah, but he's been swinging and missing ever since then. So
Right.
I don't know. I don't know why people would even take him as
Yeah.
seriously as,
Yeah. When Lisa sat beside him at breakfast, I was like, oh,
yeah,
go sit
don't do
somewhere
it.
else. Go sit somewhere else.
Yeah. hmm I mean,
um,
but he is correct in the fact that Lisa, unfortunately, for some reason, she is kind of like being a little bit more quiet because
okay.
she is such an outspoken personality. If you watch her, like on,
Okay.
the Real Housewives, and, for
Okay.
Dorinda to back that up.
Okay.
But because, yeah, like at the round table, I would feel like Lisa just because she normally has an opinion on things.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah. See, I'm not a fan of Lisa. I mean, I don't. I mean, I know who she is, but I've never watched her or anything, so I don't know how she is like on the Housewives or anything like that.
yeah. I mean, when she was on The Housewives, she's loud. She's not
Okay.
quiet. She's a loud personality. So I do
Okay.
feel like she's playing this game a little too quiet, and I think it's because she's a traitor is why she's
Mm.
muting herself. So I
Well,
mean,
and that's what his theory is.
yeah. So I mean, I can't argue him with that because I was like, I mean, I think he is right on, spot on in that observation, unfortunately.
Uh,
Um, and then the fact that, of course, Dorinda can back it up, it
mm,
doesn't make it that much better.
right. Yeah,
Um,
yeah, because Dorinda's yeah, because her and Lisa have been close.
mhm.
So yeah.
Yeah. So then that's what's discussed come the trader's turn is, because Rob's there in that conversation with Colton and Dorinda, he's in that little group. So he brings it to Lisa's attention and she's like,
Right.
he's got to go, which he does. Like
Mm. Right,
he's
right.
trouble for them. So
Yes, yeah, because especially if he wants to go after somebody that for whatever reason he doesn't like,
mhm.
he's not going to let it go.
Yeah, he's not going to back down. So that's where this traders leads off. We don't know if they can eliminate, but if they do, they are 100% gunning for Colton. So
Yeah.
stay tuned and see what happens on next episode.
Yay.
We'll see you there.